it's Jen here from Plastic Free Limb, and I'm just going to have a little instruction video on how to make a really gorgeous plastic free wreath for your door for the autumn. I haven't done an instruction video before, so this is the first time. I just started off by making a nice circle of dogwood. Now, dogwood is the sort of plant that you get in a municipal car park. If you go to the hospital or something, you'll see it all stacked up against the side. It's really, really common. It's everywhere. Sometimes you have these lovely red stems. Sometimes they're a bright green or bright yellow. It's a fantastic plant because it's from the willow family, so it's really flexible. This time of year, you can just cut a piece of the ground and wrap it round. Actually, if you want to make more of these plants, you can cut a piece from it and just stick it in the ground and it will root away. You can actually see that one of my branches here that I cut off has got some roots growing on it because it had touched the ground. I just snipped it all down. So I went around the garden and I gathered up some teasels, which are these here, and also some bits and pieces of berries, various bits of St John's wort here. And we've also got some acorns, some bits off an oak tree. And we've got a few sort of dead and dying herbs, to be honest. We've got some prunings here from a lavender bush. They're kind of a bit over now, a bit past their best for the bees. And also some rosemary from the herb garden. And what we're going to do is just going to take this circle that we've made. It's really simple to make this. You just literally wrap the dogwood into a circle and just keep wrapping it round. You can see it ends up as a spiral pattern. There's nothing needed to fix it. It's so flexible and so strong. And if it ends up a bit wonky, first of all, it doesn't matter. But actually, just give it a bit of a twist and it ends up being an okay. And it ends up being really firm. You know, it's a really good firm shape. And when the things that I put on for this autumnal wreath are finished, I'll actually be able to take them off and replace them with some holly and what have you, and that will make a really lovely Christmas wreath for the door as well. I've got some reusable string here. Reusable? It's not reusable. It's plastic free, that's what I meant. Plastic free string. So this is just nut-seam twist. To be fair, if I'd been thinking on, I probably would have bought the green one, but I quite fancy the blue. So I've got blue string, but it doesn't matter. This is just a natural jute spring and it biodegrades, so it's fine. So all I'm going to do with this one now is I'm just going to literally bunch up some of these bits and pieces and tie them on, just, you know, a bit randomly, to be honest with you. I quite like the colour of this wood, and actually this side doesn't look quite as nice as that side, so I'm going to make that side the front there, and I'm just going to bundle up some of these items and just tie them up with some string. I quite like these teasels here. I can remember when I was a child, I can remember we used to make hedgehogs out of them, and you used to be able to buy them in craft shops with these strange little glasses on them. You never see those anymore. I can sort of understand why, to be honest, because they were a bit weird. But look, see, I've made a little arrangement. Quite often when you're doing these kind of natural arrangements, it works a lot better if you have things in threes, this kind of slight asymmetry to it. I'm just going to use my secateurs. And these teasels grow wild. Don't take them all. So they're really good for the birds. But taking a few just off a plant is absolutely fine. I'm just going to take these. I'm picking, there's a bit here that's a bit scrappy, so I'm going to cover that part up. You can see, I'm just going to tie this onto my wreath. Just do a couple of wraps of string. It doesn't matter, it's a bit scrappy because I'm going to tie another piece on in a second, and that's going to cover where I put this string. If you were in the Scouts, you are quite good at these knots. Anyone that knows me will know that I love a bit of knots and all that sort of stuff. So I'm just going to do. The other thing you could use is wire. So you can take some wire and it's not working. You can take some wire and wire all of these on. But the thing with that is that when you come to dismantle it, it just takes a bit more effort, a bit more time. We made a really lovely one last year for Christmas with lots of seed heads in it, and it's been hung up on the fence all year, and it's been just really delightful watching the birds this year have come and they've pinched all the bits of twigs and what have you out of it, and it's just been this lovely natural decoration that's lasted all year long. So there you go, look, I've tied those bits on there. So now I'm going to choose a couple more little bits. So I just snipped a few oak pieces And these, it won't last long like that. These leaves will wilt because the broadleaf, they're coming to that time. There's no water obviously on this wreath, but actually they'll just go brown and over time they'll drop off, and that's fine because this is going to be a really nice autumnal wreath. And the thing is that, you know, the problem with plastic is it lasts forever, and actually autumn doesn't last forever. Winter comes and then we have spring, so it's okay. This doesn't need to last all until next year. It just needs to last a few weeks until the season passes. So I've got some acorn bits here, and you can see with this bit of oak, I just poked it in. I didn't bother with any string there because it's quite stiff and it's okay. And I think I'll be able to do the same with this one as well. I'm going to take a few of these leaves off because they're looking a bit raggedy, but that's quite a nice set of berries. Now, if you're doing this with children, you need to make sure they're not going to eat these because these are actually poisonous. But look, again, I can just poke them in and pull them through. It's stiff. There you go. Got another one here. Might have that one for going the other direction in a second. Now, obviously we're ending up with this all being a bit sort of one-sided at the moment, but that's okay because I'm going to put another piece here and I'm going to hang this wreath kind of like that. So there's going to be an arrangement here and the rest is just going to be bare. It's going to look really lovely on the door. I hang it on the door using a piece of string, and you can either put that all the way over the top and have a nail in the back if you've got a wooden door, or I actually have, I've got a sucker which I use. Now, granted that is plastic, and that's something I bought quite a while ago, but it sticks onto anything and I use it every year. So, you know, I think we'll take that one. Just snipping these bits off here, and I'm going to bundle them up. I think this one here is, I can't remember what it's called. Might be called Cotoneaster, can't remember. Not the world's best gardener, to be honest with you, but it's quite pretty and it's evergreen. So this one will actually keep its colour and the berries will probably stay on, although if you're really lucky, when you've hung it on your door, you might get the odd bird that comes and visits and pinches everything off it, which I always think is really lovely. So what I'm going to do with these ones, because they're a bit more spindly, is I'm going to just tie them with a bit of string before I poke them in, just to keep them together, or poke them in and then tie them. I really should have got some scissors before starting this because these secateurs are hopeless. Let's have a look. So I'm just going to kind of snip them to a point. Oh, that isn't it. They won't cut the string, but they cut the things easily. So if I poke those in over here, yeah, they're not going to poke because they're just not quite stiff enough, but that's okay. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to fold them around like that. I'm going to use this bit of string. I've cut a really long piece here, and actually what I'll do is I'm going to wrap it round. It's going to catch a few other bits as well. I'm going to cross it over there, wrap it around again a bit further along because this is a bit more, and just tie it up. Now I think we just need one or two more little pieces on here, and that'll be this done actually. Now I have got a couple of apples. Now the apples, if you want to put an apple on it, it's a great thing to put on there, but they will need to be wired. And I don't have any wire with me right now. So I think I'm just going to go for another lovely piece of oak. It's just on the turn, and you can see we've got some acorns still attached there. Again, don't take them all, just take one or two, because the birds really need this stuff at this time of year, and the squirrels too. We have a squirrel that visits us and they bury them all over the garden. It's a bit of a pain, but it's nice to watch. Again, we've got a few more here. These are off a rowan actually, a few rowan berries that were growing in the hedge. I'm going to poke those in, just gives it a little bit more colour. And we'll have a look at that now. How's that looking? Okay, so if you have a look, it's a little bit unbalanced. I think I need a bit more oomph down here. So I think I'll probably go for maybe just another couple of teasels, just sticking out. And I've probably got a bit more rosemary as well, actually. A couple more pieces of rosemary, a couple more teasels. And I think that'll be us done. Oh, I've got a little shield bug here. Can you see that shield bug? To go and let shield bug free in the garden in a minute. It's all stuck on the kitchen table. There we go. Right, okay. One more piece of string, I think. I think we're done. Ready to hang up. So again, Just going to keep it in a bundle, give it a bit of a trim down there. You know what, if you haven't got these things in your garden, then actually taking a couple of little pieces like this from the hedgerow is totally fine. Just take a few snips, you hardly need anything at all, or ask a neighbour or a family friend, and I'm sure they won't mind. And you never know, take enough and you might be able to make them one too out of their prunings, and they'd be absolutely delighted, I'm sure of it. So let's have a look. I'm going to get that under there, and I think that's going to balance it out really nicely. Like I said, this one is not going to last forever, but that's okay, because I know no one's going to enjoy me saying this, but it really actually won't be that long till Christmas. And at Christmas, you can take these bits off and you can go and get some holly or some other seed heads. There'll be more seed heads around by then because more stuff will have died back. And you can do the same again, but Christmas it up. And you can keep this dogwood wreath, will actually last for ages. Let's have a look. Okay, so here we have it. A gorgeous autumnal wreath to hang on your front door with not a scrap of plastic.